as well. It is going to be 11 Original that kicks us off with Eve Colley and the hybrid attack. We have just seen how impressive this strategy can be, so let's see if 11 Original can get the opening 3-star.
Yeah, that would be really important for their mindset, I think, at this point. Especially, I feel like it would be important because we know that a lot of the attackers of Devon Original like the Queen Charge Hybrid. So kind of similar to Hannah Royal, the Devon Original really likes the Queen Charge Hybrid. And having an attack in the beginning would be a huge momentum boost for them. But having to fight the Tesla Farm that early and completely messing up the funnel, that's something which is not planned, I would say. And now he has already to use the second wall break. And the first wall break, yeah, did not reach the wall. So let's hope the Queen somehow can get in there, because so far it looks like the Queen would completely ignore that opening and would just walk alongside the outside.
It looks like that with her being a ranged troop, she is going to be able to shoot over the wall, which means she will continue to just move along and shoot the defenses on the inside of the base. We did lose a healer there to the Black Bomb as well. Maybe another Coco Loon will be getting sent in, but Eve Colley now concentrating. Oh, there's another healer gone. The King, rather, though, is sent into that area where the Queen was meant to go to try and fix the funnel here and adapt the attack.
Wow, that is actually such a smart move. He kind of switches the positioning of the Queen and of the King, which is a really good move, making sure that everything is working kind of as planned, kinda. But with the hybrid splitting up so badly, we now need something to get to that town hall, especially with the Warden not really following for the core troops. We have a lot of damage in that core, making sure that all of the miners which were in that core are all about already dead. So that's not how the hybrid should look like. And the one healer which was surviving is getting rotated into that last black mine. And now at this point, it's all about saving the attack. It's all about making sure that he can collect as many percentage as possible, because there's still a lot of defenses left. And the Queen has this ability to get through the back end. But with the Royal Champion about to go down as well with her ability, this is quite a challenge with the last remaining defenses.
Particularly with 3 multi-target Infernos. I do think that Eve Colley has done a tremendous job to try and adapt here, sending in that one balloon to try and get the multi-target Inferno, because it is severely damaged, having to use that final heal spell pretty early on. That was a really nice move in order to protect as many miners as possible. You see how important that balloon was, because now that he's taken down the multi, the archers can slowly pick off a few extra buildings, and it is all about the percentage, like you said. So even if he can get 1 or 2 extra buildings, that could be the difference maker moving down to it. But Unicorns of Love, as we mentioned, a very strong performance yesterday, would be looking good due to this attack. But as we just seen in the first war, how will they fare now that they are facing one of the world finalists from last year?
Can collect many more stars for the last couple of attacks.
Yeah, we talked about how it kind of slowly crept up and then shot up towards the end in the hit rate. So let's see if Unicorns of Love can break that trend using the ever so popular Inferno Dragon attack strategy. This is the highest hit rate strategy that we have currently seen. It is a quick start, as we normally see, plenty of skeleton spells left over, and that early Grand Warden's ability. I do notice the opening Itsu to the top of the base, where the Queen could get access towards that Eagle Artillery.
Yeah, that's right. But once again, we have the King walking inside, because for the King it's easier to access those open walls. On the other side, the Queens sometimes just do not see them. One interesting thing about this base, I feel like, is this really open, big compartment with those double scatter in there, and apparently a lot of traps. So let's see if this is working out, because so far the scatter is targeting the Inferno Dragons, and that is not what you would like to see. You want the scatter being on those skeletons to make sure he is, like, it's tanked, but still, it's still going for those enemy Inferno Dragons, and those Inferno Dragons losing hit points quickly. And now we have a quite risky blimp. If there's a tornado trap right behind the town hall, this would be a huge problem.
Oh, there's lots of black bombs, but it is going to get to that area with the rage spell. Fortunately, he will be able to take the town hall, but I keep my eyes on that scatter shot in the center of the base. As you mentioned, Itsu, it still stands tall, and with a single target Inferno looming with an Expo in front of it, I can't help but wonder if he just will not have the force to get through. He still does have the Royal Champion left to deploy, waiting ever so late. Is he going to send that direct to the scatter shot? An interesting finish? Nope, decides to send her down to the bottom.
It seems like he wants to protect his own Royal Champion, his own Warden and the Inferno Dragon against this air defense. That's why he's trying to snipe that. But I feel like in the end, not taking out the Scatter is a huge thing, because now we have the problem of the Scatter still being up. He has not a lot of hit points left on his troops. And I feel like this one is as well the first defense for 11 Original. We already said, apparently for the teams, it's really hard to triple early on, and this is exactly what we see in this matchup. So from this point on, we hopefully see more 3-stars, but this is kind of like, well, as expected, based on the sets of yesterday's matches.
As expected, and it is an advantage to Unicorns of Love. They do have a higher percentage there, but it's not too much of an advantage at this stage, because as we always say, stars are what... Yeah, I mean, talk about keeping relaxed. Unicorns of Love have to remember that is a slightly higher percentage than their opening attack yesterday, and then they finished off with 4 3-stars. So maybe that's something they need to keep in mind. However, it is 11 Originals' turn to attack. We are seeing the Super Witches, interestingly, with the invisibility spell, probably for the Royal Champion towards the end of the attack.
Yeah, that's right. You always want to bring as many spells as possible to protect this Royal Champion on the back end, especially when facing like a lot of scatter shots, expos, or even single Inferno Towers. And now it's all about the Ward Walk. In the beginning again, for that Town Hall, that's his target. And then, I mean, according to the archers on the right side, I guess his entry point is going to be at this 2 o'clock side into the multi-Inferno Tower. Seeing the archers already getting this first building, the gold mine, out of the way. Yeah, I feel like it's an early funnel, but the Warden is now on that Town Hall.
Using the Rage spell to speed him up, Burak, a new player into the 11 Original lineup. We have mentioned that from last year's season, there are plenty of roster changes, this being one of them on the 11 Original team. We see the Town Hall go down, and that is a huge thing moving into the attack. This Super Wall Breaker only just got to the wall, I feel, there, Itsu, but it is enough for the Super Witches to gain access, and it looks pretty good as we have 2 jump spells to go through the rest of the base.
Yeah, that's always the nice thing, not bringing those lightnings and making sure you have a ton of jumps, a ton of rages, which you can now use to get through the base. And there is the Clan Castle. As we said, there's no poison in this army composition, which means he has to use the vulnerability to protect his troops from the extra damage, which is coming from the Clan Castle troops. And now with the Siege Barracks on the right side, giving some extra power to this king, he is able to push through the back end, going to place the next jump spell. In between of the Wizard Tower and Bomb Tower is my guess, just to get the access to the back end, but so far he's still delaying that jump, making sure that the jump is having a long time to not like run out of power. But apparently he is not jumping into the back end with the multi and the scatter. That's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, maybe that's where the Royal Champion, as you see from the top of the screen, is meant to flush that area, but there's a lot of damage for her to get through, hence the invisibility spell, and we do see a lot of the troops now moving down to the 6 o'clock area. Thankfully, we have that opening in the base that troops can move in and out of. That's one of the things I love with the Barbarian King now. It's almost an extra use for him due to this meta in base design, moving into those final compartments, and it's worked perfectly for him. Barbarian King still alive. Archer Queen moving through, the Royal Champion moving through rather, helping to take out those final compartments. And Burak, the new addition to 11 Original, getting the 3-star as required. And that is exactly what they needed at this stage in the war, Itsu. A beautiful attack to watch.
Wow, did you just see all of those black mans coming up? I feel like it was the perfect side to go in with those Super Witches, because the entire left side...
Yeah, the next attack is going to be important for them, and the 11 Original team must kind of get together there and really just give him a pat on the back, really helping to get things going for them. A quick attack here by Sahara, and it is the Super Giants and Witches. We've seen the success with this in the alternate attacks war. So is it going to be the same outcome, Itsu? Bit of a funnel getting created at the top here.
Yeah, I feel like Unicorns of Love was the only team except Alternate to use this strategy so far in this match, or like in this tournament, I would say, which is, well, obviously really hard to defend because it's really hard to control, so it's not that easy to test this entry or like this strategy in its own. So let's see how good of an entry this is going to be, because there's a long way to that Town Hall and he has not a lot of spells left because he invested already a ton of lightnings in that beginning, making sure that his troops do not need to worry about this enemy scatter shot. Now it's all about the logs rolling in, making sure all of those walls are open, and his super giants can enter into everything and tank everything obviously as well.
Yeah, I really like taking out that scatter shot actually, because it helps focus the fires of the witches through the middle of the base. You notice the log launcher with its incredible range opens up everything, and that is where now the witches can just move directly through the base. What is inside this log launcher? Was that a goblin coming out actually towards the town hall? It is going to be the Yetis, and I'd like to think at this stage he has more than enough force to get that town hall, but it's more about the back end defenses. I think the Royal Champion yet to be deployed is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, the Royal Champion now at the top side, taking out even more splash damage, which is the multi-Inferno Tower. With the single Inferno Tower, that's an easy defense to overpower for those witches, but the multi-Inferno Tower, that's where the dangerous part is about the strategy. But the Royal Champion should have no problems. And Judo, it looks like that this one is going to be another crushing 3-star. This is so crazy. Those pros bringing those strategies in, kind of already surprising their enemies, because I don't think anyone are expecting entries like this in the current meta, where we have a lot of super witches, we have a lot of like Lalo attacks normally, but those teams are choosing completely different entries, and this is obviously not defended in any way, and it's looking pretty strong so far, at least what we have seen so far from Unicorns of Love and earlier Alternate.
A crushing attack and the response that was required from Unicorns of Love, keeping the excitement going for us here as well.
Each way is always a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, kind of just hits it home. All of those millions and millions of loot I spent into my walls when you could just break them open with an earthquake and the log launcher. But we'll not talk about that. We have another attack strategy coming in here with the Inferno Dragons. We've seen the success. Can 11 Original keep the pressure going here? The very quick start we always see with the Electro Dragon to funnel the king on one side, probably the queen coming in there as well. Early Grand Warden's ability to protect the balloons as they move ahead of the Inferno Dragons. And I'm really interested on the town hall here, Itsu. Is he going to send the battle blimp all the way through, or just snipe it from the right-hand side?
Yeah, I feel like the blimp is really risky in this situation, because we saw so many times the town hall being baited with like a tornado and everything. So let's see if there's going to be a bait eventually, but it feels like the queen and the king are taking a lot of buildings, which means this bait is not as effective anymore. And with the Inferno Dragons kind of swarming the back end with no multi-Inferno Towers left, there's not too much damage. Now the blimp is reaching that town hall, everything kind of as planned. The sneaky goblins are taking it out, and there was actually the tornado trap, but a little bit misplaced, so that blimp dodged just barely.
Yeah, very nice to send the blimp in from an angle, because if you were to think about it logically, there's kind of 3 different areas you could hide the tornado trap, so I guess it's guessing which area you want to send it in from. But I do like the fact that the freeze is on the scatter shot. We talk about how important that is for the Inferno Dragons as they tear it down. Notice the Royal Champion's ability coming through as well. 2 free spells left. It's a little bit late on the air defense, and he's lost the Inferno Dragon.
But the Royal Champion is still alive with that freeze. She should clean up this base. And this, with like over 1 minute left, this should be the crushing next 3-star for 11 Original. And this is looking pretty good for them now. Even though Unicorns of Love were able to answer, but they keep putting up this pressure, which is so important in this matchup.
It's fantastic. Another 3-star, but I can't help but think about, we talk about those finer details we see with the spells, trying to maximize time efficiency. No doubt there could have been, 10, maybe even 15 seconds shaved off this if the freeze spell was in time, but Nevertheless, a 3-star is all that is required. If you can keep putting the stars on the board, you are looking good in a tournament. A best of 1 throughout all of today. So Toto of Unicorns of Love needs to get the response here. An early battle blimp. The air sweeper pushes it back, but he should be pretty good here with the Yetis. Oh no, what's happened?
The tornado trap is rotating every single sneaky goblin away, but now the sneaky goblins reached their town hall and still somehow got this. This was so close that this town hall did not go down.
I seen the barbarian come out, which is obviously used to test for traps ahead of the sneaky goblins, but I just couldn't see the sneaky goblins with the clan castle being in the way, or the clan castle attacking statue. Nevertheless, the town hall did go down. He got what was needed. He didn't commit any spells to help out there, so he can really maximize the queen charge. 1 black bomb right to the outside of the base. It's 2. Plenty of loons that he could send more in, but the healers taking a little bit of a risk. There is that coconut loon. Is there another black bomb? Or is it just the one? Nope, there's another one, but the queen's down! Oh no!
Oh, that charge was so baited. He already caught a black man right in the beginning. That's why he used so many coke loons right after, because he knew the entry was baited. But this combination of scatter shot and this super mini clan castle really made him giving him a rough day to kind of get through that. And now he has to somehow save this, and this is on a queen charge Lalo tech nearly impossible, because now you want to have those healers transition over to your second group of troops, which with hybrid is still a possibility because you have the healers working them with the hybrid, but well, healers can't heal air troops. So the queen charge is one thing, the Lalo is another thing, and even though he has a couple of more spells left, this is going to be really hard facing off over 70% of the base with only 1 lava hound.
Yeah, he just had way too much to focus on at the start of the attack there, and I'm not sure he can recover this. A beautiful Grand Warden's ability catches all of the headhunters as they move through. They get the king, they get the queen, now they're vulnerable. They're not going to finish off the royal champion, who slams into the balloons. They crash to the ground, and there is a lot of base left here. It's what type of percentage could be recovered? It's not looking too good.
Yeah, and this attack is feeling like, they cracked under the pressure of 11 Original putting that to them, and I feel like Unicorns of Love yesterday were so consistent in their attacks, and today, yeah, there's just this one slip off with the queen dying to the enemy clan castle. Such a nice bait as well from 11 Original, putting a lot of pressure onto the attacker. Like, if an attack is happening like this, where a lot of things are going wrong, you immediately getting more it's always way more adrenaline, and this is sometimes resulting in a couple of mistakes.
Successful attack rate, which is pretty good given the risk you have to take in order to get the 3 stars with it, and we're actually seeing it again, this time by 11 Original though.
Okay, so now you're taking my job with the predictions, I see. Okay, really nice prediction by you, Judo. Predicting the next attack with Queen Charge Lalo. Nicely done. And Mark is coming in, and he's starting off with the blimp. That's something which we see a lot of times nowadays. Starting off with the Yeti blimp, because what this does is it's kind of starting a nice, it's giving a nice starting point for the Queen Charge. At the same time, you can lure out the Clan Castle. And this Clan Castle looks kind of funny with all of those archers, goblins, and everything coming out of that. And the queen, though, has a really nice and easy way to go through all of that. If some people now think about, is he actually trolling with this clan castle? No, this clan castle is actually sometimes really annoying to face, especially if you have it, getting lured out of the clan castle one by one, or, only in small groups, because you never know what is left in there. You never know if they're, more, I don't know, super minions, other stuff in there. So it's really annoying to face. And in this one, Mark got the entire lure, and this gave him a really nice entry into the space.
Yeah, the other difficulty with it is if you don't lure it, you can actually end up having a clan castle which splits in the middle of the attack, and often the headhunters will go for the Grand Warden, not being what you want. Eve Mark doing a perfect job at the moment, though. The super wall breakers are really doing a tremendous job, giving the queen access to everything. He doesn't really even need that final super wall breaker, because she can get access to the town hall, the scatter shot. He can then use it later on in the raid, and with only half of the attack attack done and so much pathing for the queen to now get the damage. I'd say this is turning out exactly as he wanted.
Yeah, I feel like the wall break was even better than he was hoping for, because I feel like the king was meant to get into that town compartment, take that down. The queen, meanwhile, was supposed to go into the core, but now with that town hall compartment open, the queen has some access to some other buildings, but she needs to like get back into the core. That's the important part. Let's hope she's not going for a wall, and she is not, so she can reach that enemy queen, taking her out nice and early. And this is looking so good. The Royal Champion taking down the multi, and at 1 minute, like at 50 seconds roundabout, the Lalo's getting started at some point as well. Like Mark is saying, yeah, I know I have like the time left, but I'm chill. I got this. Let's just slowly move through that base and take it out surgically.
I thought he was going for the world record, which I believe is 43 seconds for a lava loon. You might think he deployed it late, but with so many troops and spells left over, he can really rack up the percentage quickly. As you see, so many balloons flying to the back end of the base. We have the minions coming in. The spells really help them to just charge through that area. Queen stays alive, turning the enemy king invisible so that the queen can go and help clean up. Beautiful stuff. I worry about the elixir storage though. How much health does that have? Can anything get to it? Oh no! What an unfortunate attack here from Eve Mark. Another 99% today too.
The classic. It always hurts. It always hurts. 99%. That's obviously not the goal, or like not the percentage you're going for.
Another 99% today too.
The classic. It always hurts. It always hurts. 99%. That's obviously not the goal, or like not the percentage you're going for. I feel like it feels like you're you're so close away to getting this 3-star, but at the same time, this one last building is defending the entire base. So yeah, it was a good try. Starting maybe with Lalo a little bit late, not really sure, but still, like maybe he would have had to plan for the elixir storage. Not really sure. Either way, it was a great attack. We have to give him that. It was a really great charge. Entire base open. Queen was able to reach everything. And in the end, it's a 99%, which is not the worst weapon, because even if Unicorns of Love are going to a 3-star, it means that Level Original are still up in percentage.
It certainly does. And it is the response using the same strategy here. Let's see what is going to happen. I'm sure, well, he might not have even watched that attack if he is focusing on his, but I'm sure he's now conscious on the lava loon timing. The queen charge is going direct into the eagle. That's pretty nice, because then
I don't think the queen is going to go in there. She's going for the Builder Hut. Yeah, the Builder Hut, nicely placed by Level Original. Really nicely done. The wizard was, yes, great, but this one Builder Hut lured over the queen, so she's not going in there. I don't know, maybe it was intended, not really sure. Either way, the queen is doing an insane move, dodging this outside army camp, and just say, okay, this scatter, that's the most dangerous defense. I'm going to take that out first. Really nice decision making right there from the queen. That's really cool to see. And now we have the queen charge getting into that compartment where he can reach both enemy heroes. He can reach the enemy royal champion. He can reach the enemy queen, but he is engaging both of them up at the same time.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see that headhunter actually sneaking in, given that the royal champion and the queen was in that area, and it's a Lalo attack. Doesn't have the headhunter now to be used. Maybe he... it's difficult to say with that Builder Hut whether it was overlooked or not, but the jump spell can still give him access to where he needs. I just worry on how much time the queen is actually going to take to get around here with the Barbarian King coming into the bottom of the base. It's obviously going to be the Lalo just moving around the top.
I mean, he has one jump spell left. Let's see where exactly he's going to use that, because, yep, there we go. But this means, yes, he's giving his queen access to a lot of different compartments, but at the same time, that can be sometimes a bad thing, because now the queen, at this point, he can't really control it anymore where the queen is going, because there are so many different options where she could go. That is kind of like a little bit random at this point where she's going, and this headhunter is quite late. So let's see if the queen can survive this. The headhunter is saving her, because she had no ability left at this point.
just about saved. Now you see the Lalo direct in towards the town hall, and he's going to not be able to protect all of the balloons with the... Oh, he does. Wow. What a Grand Warden ability. Protects everything. But you have that central scatter shot. Queen about to go down here if he's not careful. Uses the rage spell. Is able to protect her with more balloons for support. Caught in the tornado trap now. The balloons, fortunately, not getting hit with the scatter shot quite straight away, but then the freeze was a touch too late, Itsu.
Yeah, but this is not much left on defense, but we have only 24 seconds, and now we have kind of the same finish as Mark just said, with only a couple of seconds still left. 17 of them overall, but there are so many minions, the queen is still alive, the loons are everywhere, so this should be a crushed base, which means Unicorns of Love are once again right behind 11 Original, but at the same time, 11 Original have this really small percentage lead, which in the end, at the beginning of the match, Unicorns of Love had. So it feels like...
And it really just builds the pressure towards the end here, because it is still anybody's game. Any clan can win, but as you said, 11 Original with Pazzy could secure the victory if a 3-star is secured in this attack.
Yeah, that would be so important. We can see so many Queen Charge Lalos by those pros right now. It's such a hard strategy to pull off, but at the same time, it's so controlled. You have everything in your own hands. And when you're messing up, then it's you on the attacking side messing things up normally. And it's not about like any random aspects of the game, which is really, really liked by those pro players. And that's why the strategy is so appreciated. We have the Royal Champion getting targeted by the Single Inferno Tower really early. But there is the invisibility spell. And this invisibility spell is doing two things. First off, the Queen should not target the gold storage, but the enemy Queen is looting over the Royal Champion, so this Single Inferno Tower should stay alive.
Ooh, the nerve of Pazzy holding onto that Queen's ability and waiting on the rage spell. I was watching her health just going down and down. A nice little touch to send in the balloons just to finish off that single. Obviously didn't want that, but nice to be able to recover. Now we see the Queen charging in again, holding onto the ability. What? What are we seeing right now, Itsu?
Pazzy's going crazy with those timings. My Queen would have died already 3 times over there, I would say. And this is just insane. The control, as I said, of those pros being able to protect their heroes is just incredible. Such a nice plan so far. The Queen is going to get access now to the entire core. Enemy Eagle, enemy Sweeper, Multi-Inferno Tower, and the Expo. This is just so much value on the back end. She is going to be able to reach that enemy Queen as well. So every single hero is taken down. And now even the King is joining the forces and helping her, the Queen to somehow take down the score.
It is such a pleasure to watch this because every little detail is just incredible. As you mentioned, the King tanking all day long for the Archer Queen as she shreds the inside of the base. Now we see the early deployment of the Lalo. I say early, 1 minute and 20 left, but with this style of attack, that is pretty early. And we also see the Queen not using those headhunters yet, which is quite interesting to me. Battle Blimp going to go all of the way through with the ability. Oh, it's not looking as promising here as the balloons are struggling to get through this section.
Yeah, the Warden ability missed a huge group of Loon in that beginning, so that went down. Now the Queen ability, now that Rage to take down the town. Really nice holding onto that Rage, making sure he's using the Queen ability instead of another Rage. And this is still 45 seconds left with a huge group of Loons on that right side. Using that Rage to get into the back end, even now spawning more lava pumps with that last sound going down. And Judo, this is looking like a really solid attack from 11 Original from Pazzy. And this means, if this triples, which to be honest, it looked like, we have 11 Original moving on into the next round and into the next weekend.
11 Original, last year's World Championship finalists, are taking matters into their own hands. Pazzy with the Queen Charge Lalo 3-star means they cannot be caught now by Unicorns of Love.
Teams already had their first match, so they already showed what they're capable of. So really interesting to see that all of those teams from last World Championship are that good to defend their reputation, I would say, at this point. So really nicely done. We have the last attack coming in for Unicorns of Love. So let's take a look at that. And that's going to be another Lightning Lalo attack. I feel like those are, for me at least, the most enjoyable attacks to watch, because in the hand of a pro, this is just looking so incredible that you just want to try it on your own. most of the times not working as good, but still, it's just really enjoyable to watch.
It's always been my favorite strategy to watch, mainly because of the insight that the player has and the planning that goes into every single stage of the attack. They can see what is going to happen 2 minutes in, which is incredibly difficult. Notice the left-hand side of the base has already taken out the enemy Archer Queen, a key hero in this strategy. But now you also have to deal with the enemy Royal Champion if you're using a Lava Loon. Looks like the heroes are actually going to go into that area to take her out as well, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right, and he's keep adding those ice golems, making sure there's not too much damage on his heroes, and the Royal Champion is just circling the base inside the base, and that's looking really cool, to be honest. Now it's all about this clan castle coming out, and it seems like it's once again a super mini clan castle. Right now it feels like that's the favorite clan castle to use for those pros. And he has a poison, but he's just using the poison quite late, so let's see if this is going to be enough.
I'm very surprised we didn't see the headhunters deployed from the 10 or 11 o'clock area to try and help take down the Royal Champion. It definitely would have helped to protect the attacking Royal Champion, and the Queen, in fact, could have maybe got through that entire area. Let's see what he's going to do here with the Stone Slammer leading the charge, the balloons in towards the Town Hall. I don't think we've seen the Tornado Trap as of yet. So is that next to the Town Hall, Itsu, as we so often see? Love the deployment of that second Lava Hound as well, just delayed.
Yeah, but the enemy defending super minions were dealing so much damage. Now he needs to use that Warden ability, but the Warden is not in range for that Town Hall, so a lot of loons are going down, and this means he has a couple of spells left, but still, this scatter shot on this back end is looking really scary for those loons to face.
Yeah, nice Warden ability actually in combination with the haste spell means he does have a bit of force moving through. It's all about that scatter shot. Can he get it? A couple of balloons sneaking in with the haste, overlapping the balloons so they can power to it. Beautiful stuff, but with 20 seconds left, does he have enough time?
Oh my god, the loons are splitting perfectly for him, but it's only 12 seconds left. He's placing everything he can. He's trying to snipe the enemy king platform with his Warbreakers. It did not work out, but still, a great effort in the end from Vado. But this is going to be the next defense for 11 Original, which is giving us the final score of 13-12. 11 Original is going to win this match and move into the next round.
Moving to the next round, which will be happening next weekend, but we have so many more matches coming up, and one of them that we are so much looking forward to next, Itsu. However, we need to have a quick recap of this war before